Hello and welcome, it's me Martin, and today we've got a new video. It's already Monday, can't believe it, and it's episode 2 of our weekly upload. Now if you're not sure, I upload videos every Monday, 12 PM UK time, so if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you won't miss an episode. I deliver content based on online English language teaching, as well as a bit more about Korean language and Korean culture in my free time. Today we're going to be looking at how best to deliver and prepare for trial lessons. So let's get started. You may be asking yourself, what are trial lessons? Well, trial lessons are an opportunity for potential online students to get a bit of a taste of what a particular tutor or teacher, online teacher, is offering. There's little to no monetary contribution for a trial lesson, but it's an opportunity for students to practice a particular lesson with a potential teacher and for the teacher to get to know a bit more about the student. Obviously, for new online teachers, it can be a bit nerve-wracking when it comes down to delivering and teaching potential new students who you've never met before. However, today's video is going to be about trying to reduce that stress and anxiety so you're able to deliver the best quality trial lesson and to ensure new students every single time. So the one thing that you need to be aware of is the trial lesson is about the student. It's not about you. And this was the first thing that I discovered when I was starting to deliver demo trial lessons to potential students. And I've been doing this for many years now. You need to shift your focus from introducing yourself, your experience, and all about me, and focus more on the student. And it's relatively simple to do that. Make sure that you shift that focus, and then you soon realize that you're gaining more and more students once you readjust to that sort of mindset. The next thing that you need to possibly consider is asking open questions. And usually I would start off with a very simple thing with online students with a trial lesson. Let's call it a 25-minute trial lesson. I would ask the student when they just join the class, okay, I would say, oh, hello there, Catherine. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Perfect. I can see you. I can hear you. Excellent. So you've now established that direct communication, and you've established the fact that their technology is working and there's no issues with your technology. The next step is to actually ask open-ended questions, and it's all about the student, remember. So you could ask questions like, hello, I am from England, so obviously I want to ask you about the weather. How is the weather in your country? Interesting. Okay, yeah, it is raining here as well. And so here you start to establish that relationship, and rapport is very important when it comes down to a trial lesson. You need to establish that connection immediately. You've established that connection first of all with the technology, ensuring that their technology isn't failing and your technology is working as expected. And then the next thing is, okay, where are you from? How is the weather where you are from? You could also say, okay, so what do you like to do in your spare time? And whilst the student is starting to answer that question, make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper, and then write down some of the ideas and answers that they're providing. And one thing I'd like to do, and one thing that you need to remember, is to try and write down good examples of language, not just the bad. It's always it's a bit difficult when it comes down to online teaching, and as English teachers we tend to focus on the negatives and the areas of improvement, but don't forget to focus on areas of strengths, areas where the student has excelled and that they can improve upon. It takes a while to get used to the fact of actually writing out notes on a piece of paper, but for me nowadays I tend to use the PC and write down on a Word processor or on a Google document. Then I share that Word or Google document file with the student after the trial lesson. And you'll see, and I try and organise it by student and create a folder on Google Drive. Maybe we could do a video about how to use Google Drive when it comes down to online English teaching, because I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments. The other element about the trial lesson is that student-teacher talking time. Make sure that your teacher talking time is reduced and the student talking time is increased. And you should be, particularly with a one-to-one student, where it's slightly different to a group environment or a group online lesson, for individual students should be talking about 70% of the time and the teacher about 30% of the time. However, it much depends on the level of the student, as well as that sort of rapport and fluency, and whether it's a bit more interactive. I've noticed the more interactive it is, the more rapport that you've generated, the talking time is about equal, if not slightly more for the student, like 60% or 40% for the teacher. The next thing that you could do to professionalize your trial lesson, to show that you're keen and you take it seriously, is to create a PowerPoint slide. For me, it makes sense to create a PowerPoint slide because it's all logically organized. There's no variation between one trial lesson and the other. The only difference is the student and what they utter. And within my PowerPoint, I try and organize it by different sections. So the first section would be about the student, and then just general questions and topics that I would ask the student, and the student can then see the questions that I'm asking them. The next would be an opportunity for the student to ask me questions if they're curious. And then finally, feedback. And the feedback would be based on the student speaking, and I would share that either in Word document or a Google document. The next step is about the course and the objectives of the student. What does the student want to study? What do they want to try and achieve? How regular do they want lessons? All this is very important when you're starting to organise lessons and a course for potential students, particularly if you're going to be looking at previous exam papers or if you're trying to help students pass a particular course. The final step of the trial lesson, and the most important, is to get a call to action at the end of the trial after 25 minutes, if it's a 25-minute trial, or if it's at the end of a 50-minute trial. A call to action would be, thank you ever so much for your attendance today. It was really nice to meet you, Catherine. I hope to see you in our class next week. So feel free to book my appointment to ensure that my availability is there for you. The student is then thinking, I really need to book a class now, otherwise I may lose the availability to have a lesson with this teacher. And in that case, you give them a sort of prompt, and 9 times out of 10, the student will book a course with you. And you could suggest a course of 10 lessons or 20 lessons over a period of time, which is usual. The other thing that you could do is to get students to book one lesson at a time. But for me personally, I try and get students to book a course over 2 months of maybe 10 lessons or something like that. So have a think about, and possibly something for a future video, is the scheduling and the courses, and whether you teach or get students to pay for a course, like a 10-week course or an 8-week course, or whether you get students to book one after the other. Anyhow, that's it for today. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. If you're able to like this and subscribe and comment, it helps the algorithm, so it ensures that other online English teachers can see this video and can benefit as well. So if you're able to do that, it would be wonderful. I'll let you go. Please let me know in the comments as well what sort of video you'd like next week, and if there's anything that you're struggling with when it comes down to online teaching, I'll be more than happy to help. And also, I have a Discord channel, so if you want to join the online teaching community at Soul Foreigner, please feel free to click on the link just below this video and you'll see Discord, and we have, at the moment of recording, five members. So if you haven't joined already, please join. It'll be great to see you there and just say hi. And we hold bi-weekly live streams on Discord on Saturdays at 12 p.m. UK time. So I'll see you there, if not next week with a future episode. Take it easy and happy teaching. Bye bye.